Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. For all those Maplers who are not sure yet which class to main, I'm making this video series. I'll be showcasing all the updated hunting and bossing on every class after the Destiny update. I'll talk about their gameplay and why you could potentially main one. I divided this series into 5 parts based on every class type. So one for the warriors, one for the magicians, thieves, pirates and archers. And today we're starting off with the warriors. I hope you enjoy and that this video helps you pick a main character. Warriors are tanky boys that have naturally high defense, most of them have passive healing, and nowadays their mobility and skill ranges rival those of all other classes. We're kicking things off with the Explorer Warriors, starting with the Hero class. After the Destiny update, heroes no longer need to manage their combo orbs like in the past, those little orbies floating around them. You just activate them once and you're good to go. This class is very simple and has improved mobility after the Destiny update, with a new dash where you can dash to monsters. Also, heroes now have improved mobbing. It's way better than it used to be. The hitboxes got improved by like a ton. They use their longer cooldown fifth job skills both during bosses and mobbing. Hero bossing is still very potent with a ton of damage even without a lot of funding. If you're looking for a class with moderate safety when bossing, with their short 20-second cooldown invincibility frame skill. Invincibility frames are skills that make you invincible for a few seconds, very useful for when you're bossing. Decent mobbing, additional mobility and higher base damage, then make sure to check out the hero class. Dark Knights are like the god brothers of heroes, healing whenever they deal damage, and when they die, they don't. They get revived and become invincible at the same time. Now this class has different options to choose from when they die. They can pick 1 out of 3 revives. The different revives either give long or short invincibility frames, but also have longer and shorter cooldowns. Dark Knights grind using their short cooldown fifth job skills and hyper skills to clear out large parts of the map with big AoE attacks, and of course your main mobbing attack. While their longer cooldown skills have plenty of burst to deal with bosses. Their bossing and overall damage got improved with the Destiny update. If you're looking for a class that is easy to boss with, never dies, and you like to manage short cooldown attacks while grinding and bossing, then make sure to check out this class. Paladin is the third Explorer Warrior. This class focuses on survivability as well, similar to the Dark Knight, but has more supportive skills compared to the other 2 Explorer Warriors, including a revive for party members and a shareable 30-second invincibility frame. Similar to the Dark Knight, they use their short cooldown fifth job skills when grinding and have decent burst as well. After the Destiny update, their damage got improved by a lot, and their regular mobbing attacks have changed, getting a buff in both damage and attacking range. This class used to need to stack different elemental attacks to get a damage buff, but this has been simplified. While the stackable buff is still there, both your main mobbing attack and main bossing attacks provide you with stacks now, so you don't need to worry about those anymore. And it's also good to mention this class has its own bind. If you're looking for a class that can live through most boss attacks, has decent mobbing and decent damage against bosses, but also has a more supportive skill set, then make sure to check out the Paladin. Next up are the Knight of Sickness, starting with the Dawn Warrior. Dawn Warriors have a ton of lines, they're literally line warriors, big AoE attacks and a very easy and very simple playstyle. Dawn Warriors are constantly switching between 2 stances, with each stance changing the class it attacks. How fast you're switching your stances is dependent on server ping though, so if you're playing with high ping, I would definitely be careful with picking up this class. Dawn Warriors have an additional dash, besides the regular rush skill that basically all warriors get. And they have 2 invincibility frames, one when charging their hyper skill Styx Crossing, and one when you cast Soul Eclipse, that big sun explosion in the background. Their bossing is okay, but their bossing skill at the moment does launch them in the air when it's being used, and that takes some getting used to. But they do have their own bind though. This is a skill that stuns a boss for 10 seconds. If you're thinking about maining this class, do keep in mind that the Knight of Sickness are going to get remastered in the 2022 winter update for MapleStory Global and MapleStory C. This remastering replaces the bossing attack that launches you in the air with a new skill that doesn't do that, so that's definitely going to be improved. Also a space team is going to be added for this class. The changes are still being tested in the MapleStory Korea test client, but do keep this in mind. The other Knight of Sickness warrior is Mihile. If you don't like taking damage, then this class is perfect for you. This class's main gimmick is using its skill Royal Guard. You have to time this skill perfectly when you're getting attacked to block the damage, become invincible for a few seconds and deal damage at the same time. You can block any attack. It doesn't matter if it's a normal monster or the black mage hitting you, everything can be blocked. This makes this class the safest in the game, but it also is more difficult to play as you actually have to time your parries yourself. Mihile's damage on his bossing skill and some of his fifth job skills have been improved after Destiny, but still this class isn't known for its amazing mobbing and high boss damage. You can solo bosses just fine on this class, but it does require a bit more funding than some of the other warriors. But hey, at least you don't die. Similar to the Dawn Warrior, Mihile is also getting a remaster in a few months. I haven't checked out this class myself yet, but so far it looks like the mobbing and bossing for this class will be improved in the future. Let's check out one of the more recently released warriors next, the Adele class. Adele is one of the few classes that did not get any changes with the Destiny update. Does this mean Adele is no longer amazing? Well, nope. Adele didn't get weaker, the other classes just got closer to how powerful Adele is. Adele conjures swords that seek out monsters. She is very easy to play when mobbing. You conjure your swords, you have one main mobbing attack. However, there is a bit more micromanagement involved. Keep up your swords and another stackable buff that she has. Adele's mobility is pretty amazing as well. She can backdash, float and dash to crystals. She can create using her abilities. She has high base damage and is an excellent bosser and mobber. She has a few safety tools as well, like an invincibility frame and a way to block damage similar to Mihile. And they have their own bind skill as well. It's basically the whole picture is perfect. If you want to play a class that's very powerful, who has a bit more micromanagement than some of the other warriors, and you like the flying sword aesthetic, then make sure to check out Adele. Aran is the hero warrior class. This class is extremely mobile and has gotten some nice buffs with the Destiny update. Aran uses a special combo mechanic that can be obtained by using their attacks. Before the Destiny update, these combos would go down if you didn't attack, but that isn't the case anymore. The combos will stay up forever. They use the basic attack key plus arrow key to dish out attacks. Or you can just use the skill keys as well, but you'll deal more damage if you use the manual input, so it can be a bit more spammy. Arans also get a short buff when they use a regular swing, and after the Destiny update, this buff has had its duration increased from 5 seconds to 20 seconds, making it a lot less hassle to keep up your increased damage. Also now after Destiny, whenever Arans get a full combo, they have up to 300 seconds to activate their special adrenaline boost mode to deal increased damage and to buff up their attacks. Arans now also have more safety with their hyper skill Maha's Domain now making them invincible for 2 seconds. That's that big polearm coming down. Together with their other invincibility skills like Freud's Will, the common 5th job hero skill, and Hunter's Spray, and their passive healing when they're attacking, they have a lot of safety in their kit. And they bring their own bind to the boss fight as well. This class is perfect for Maplers who are looking for a more active gameplay. Aran has pretty high base damage and is very mobile, making it perfect to pick up for new players as well if you do like the combo mechanic. Next up are the 2 demon classes, and we're starting off with the demon Avenger this time. This class has been the meme of MapleStory for a while, with their pitfall grinding capabilities and HP draining skills, but no more. This class is clawing its way from the bottom and has already gotten a very nice buff with the Destiny update, and the Demon Avenger will continue to get more massive buffs over the next few updates. Like seriously, really big buffs are coming to their 5th job skills. In MapleStory Korea, this class is currently regarded as one of the strongest bossing classes in the game. Demon Avenger's main stat is HP instead of the regular strength. Their attacks also cost HP instead of MP. Their main mobbing attack is a 3rd job skill, and they summon their 4th job shields as well to help with mobbing. After the Destiny update, one of their 5th job skills got changed and now it deals damage around you, kinda similar to Lord of the Deep from Buccaneers. This is a huge improvement actually for both mobbing and bossing with this class. In the next few months their 5th job skills will get even more massive buffs. Both demons, the Demon Slayer and Demon Avenger, have great mobility. They can fly around, which is very useful for when you're both bossing and grinding. This class is way more viable to have as a bossing meal right now, even more in the next few updates. They do have their own built-in bind skill as well. If you enjoy managing your HP and like to use low cooldown skills where you're mobbing, make sure to check out this class. Demon Slayers also use a different resource than most other warriors. Instead of MP, they have Demon Fury. This class starts off slow, but really kicks things into gear after reaching level 140. Then they gain a new skill that doubles their lines, and this skill has been improved after the Destiny update. It's now a toggle, which is way less hassle to maintain. Demon Slayers have high base damage and high base stats, which makes them perfect to pick up for new players or to use as bossing mules. Even though the first 140 levels can feel kinda slowish and clunky, this is also one of the few classes that gets free weapons for its first like 100 levels through quests. They also have their own bind and have excellent mobbing, bossing and mobility. Their damage isn't insanely high, but it's pretty well rounded with high base stats. They also have 3 skills that give them invincibility frames and have passive healing as well. Demon Slayers will even get some more improvements in the near future. For example, right now you have to mash your regular attack to use your Demon Lash skill. In the future you'll be able to hold down the skill. Next up is the other resistance warrior class, Blaster. Blaster is the warrior class with probably the highest skill ceiling. I just cannot play this class properly. It actually requires a ton of practice. Blasters attack faster when they are animation cancelling with their shotgun punch. You do this by holding your backwards or forward slide skill, release it, jump to cancel the animation on the slide, and then use your attack at the same time. And then just really fast, and that's just one of the tricks they can do. Blasters have a gauge and bullets that need to be managed to apply the most damage for them. Again, there are tricks and tips to always keep your bullets up, but it requires a lot of practice to constantly be pulling that off. Blasters did get improved mobbing and small damage buffs over time though in the last recent few updates, and their main mobbing attack, Shotgun Punch, will get a massive boost in damage against normal monsters in a future update. I think they're getting like 220% more damage added or something like that against normal mobs. Blasters are powerful, have plenty of shields, plenty of invincibility frames, as well as their own bind. But their high skill ceiling does deter many new Maplers as they're just very hard to control, especially during boss battles. It does require a ton of practice. It's definitely very viable to main this class, but yeah, be careful for your hands. Kaiser is the Nova Warrior. Skill-wise, this class didn't get that many buffs with the Destiny update, besides a nice 12% final damage buff. If you like to become a big buff dragon every now and then, with a massive sword, then this is the class for you. Kaiser is the only warrior class that can transform. They have a gauge that needs to be filled up, and when filled up they turn into that big dragon, improving their mobbing and bossing attacks. Kaiser nowadays is a well-rounded class with nice mobbing and bossing, and they have plenty of mobility as well. They can even teleport when they are in their dragon form, and they recently got an up jump with the Destiny update. They have one invincibility skill and one skill that revives them when they die, so when they die they don't. But they do lack their own bind. Next up is the Zero class. This class is only available for a limited amount of time, usually during the big summer and big winter updates. This class uses a unique tag mechanic and time force instead of MP. Zero is a combo class where both characters tag in and out of battle and combo their attacks. After the Destiny update, Zero got some buffs to their overall damage, some quality of life, and improved range to their Shadow Flash 5th job skill. Zeros are excellent mobbers and bossers. They have 2 binds, one of which is a shorter bind but it can apply more often, which is pretty dope when you have it in your bossing party. And they have plenty of revives and invincibility frames. They also can have a very lazy mobbing rotation when you know which combos to use. They also are extremely mobile with a lot of dashes and stuff like that. That can be both useful and sort of challenging when you're bossing. This class is very unique, also in that it starts at level 100 but has to complete a full story up to level 180 to fully unlock their Link skill. I do recommend to create a Zero when this class is available. Their Legion effect increases EXP gained, which is a must-have for everyone looking to level up faster. And the final warrior class in MapleStory is the Sengoku warrior Hayato. This samurai is very mobile and has various big attacks that can clear out the map fast. If you're funded on this class, you can grind by literally standing still and spamming your big AoE attacks. In boss fights they are a bit more tricky though because of their high mobility. Hayatos can also switch between a bossing and grinding stance to gain different stats. This class does come with a gauge for sword energy, which is needed for additional stat buffs, and some skills consume and recover this energy. Hayato is a special class that was never released on the Korean version of MapleStory, which is where all the main balancing for the game is done. This does mean that this class sometimes doesn't get updated alongside the other classes, as the balancing for this class is not done by the main team. Sometimes these classes fall behind other classes that do get updated, and sometimes they're very unbalanced or even bugged. But because of the low amount of maintenance these classes receive, sometimes this can be frustrating for Hayato mains. This class is definitely fun to main though, but does require more funding and a lot of 5th job nodes before they can really start popping off. So they're definitely worth it to main, even though they didn't get any buffs with the recent update. They are supposed to get at least some buffs in the near future, I believe. But just be careful with this class, it's not balanced by the main balancing team, which can result in some issues here and there. And they were all warriors. I hope this video was useful and that helps you pick a warrior main if that's what you're looking for. Make sure to stay tuned for the next videos where we go over all the other classes as well. And that was all for today. As always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian Hanoy, FLX, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Mora, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Anwar NHI, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Knifesu, Chen125, Cloudfix, Gustus Rodriguez, Froggy, Vira, Trevor, Michael Machaka, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zhang, Afterlord_MS, ceemak, Striker Elk, Tidal Pan, Victor Sunstrom, Radical Jaws, Riser Are Gummy Bullet, Lovebird, Certito655, Matthias Simonson, Mr. Narc, Kalando Belavia, my name is Coppersan and I'm super cute XOXO, PC Game Life, Dante Victory, Stanislaus Xumo Vegas, Swap to Bish, Road to level 235, 30k stat, exclamation mark reboot, The Passenger, Martin Panzik, I'm Disappointed, Lucky Beats, Gable Eck, Penro Benetti, Conrad Castales, Ace Light, Ben Wolf, Max Bernhardt, Doc on the Tucker Box, Muka 1017, BMB King, Scotty Flies Fast, and Priscilla. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling.